Most people think of poor sleep as an inconvenience. You feel tired, you drink more coffee, you push through the day. Maybe you tell yourself you'll catch up on sleep this weekend. But what many people don't realize is that chronic sleep deprivation affects almost every system in your body, not just your energy, not just your mood. Your brain, heart, hormones, immune system, and metabolism all depend on consistent, high-quality sleep. And when sleep problems last for months, or even years, the effects can quietly accumulate. Let's start with the brain. Sleep is when the brain performs its nightly maintenance. During deep sleep, your brain clears out waste products that build up during the day. These include metabolic byproducts produced by normal brain activity. Without sufficient sleep, those waste products accumulate. Over time, this can affect cognitive performance. That's why people experiencing chronic sleep deprivation often report symptoms like brain fog, poor concentration, memory problems, difficulty making decisions. You may feel like your mind is constantly running at half capacity, and the longer sleep deprivation continues, the more noticeable these effects can become. But the brain isn't the only system affected. Your hormonal system also depends heavily on sleep. During healthy sleep cycles, your body regulates hormones responsible for stress, appetite, metabolism, and recovery. When sleep becomes irregular or too short, these hormonal patterns become disrupted. For example, cortisol, your main stress hormone, may remain elevated longer than it should. This can leave your nervous system in a semi-alert state even during the night, which often worsens insomnia. At the same time, hormones that regulate hunger can become imbalanced. People who are sleep deprived often experience increased cravings, particularly for sugar and high-calorie foods. This happens because your body is trying to compensate for the energy it didn't restore during sleep. Sleep deprivation also affects your immune system. During deep sleep, your body produces proteins called cytokines that help regulate immune responses. These proteins are important for fighting infections and managing inflammation. When sleep is consistently shortened, cytokine production decreases, which means the immune system becomes less efficient. Many people notice they get sick more frequently during periods of severe sleep loss. Your cardiovascular system can also be affected. Sleep plays an important role in regulating blood pressure and heart rate. When sleep is disrupted night after night, the body spends more time in a stress response. Over time, this can place additional strain on the heart and blood vessels. Then there's something people often overlook: mental and emotional health. Sleep helps regulate the brain regions responsible for emotional balance. Without enough restorative sleep, these areas become more reactive. This is why sleep deprivation can increase irritability, anxiety, and emotional sensitivity. Small problems begin to feel bigger. Patience becomes harder. Stress feels more intense. But perhaps the most frustrating part of chronic sleep deprivation is the cycle it creates. The worse sleep becomes, the more the brain's alert system activates. And the more alert the brain becomes, the harder it is to sleep. For many chronic insomniacs, the underlying problem isn't simply bad habits. It's an overactive neurological alert system. When this system stays active at night, cortisol levels remain elevated and the brain struggles to transition into deep restorative sleep, which prevents the body from performing the recovery processes it needs. That's why many modern sleep approaches focus on calming the nervous system rather than forcing sleep. When the alert system quiets down, the brain can naturally enter recovery mode. Heart rate slows, breathing deepens, and deep sleep becomes possible again. Once this happens consistently, many of the negative effects of sleep deprivation begin to improve. Energy returns, mental clarity improves, mood stabilizes, and the body finally gets the restoration it has been missing. The human body is incredibly resilient. Even after long periods of poor sleep, recovery is possible once healthy sleep patterns return. But the first step is understanding what's actually keeping your brain awake. If you want to learn the full 5-step sleep hacking method designed to calm the brain's alert system and help restore natural sleep cycles, you'll find it in the description below. It explains the complete approach step by step. Because sleep isn't just about feeling rested, it's one of the most important foundations of your long-term health. And once your brain finally powers down at night, your body begins repairing itself in ways most people don't even realize.